My name is Brian McKittrick.
My name's Earl Brownfield.
Jeffrey Green.
Mark Crancer.
My name is Karajas Randall.
My prison number is 088
118
40
E27
79
Florida has the third largest U.S. prison system with an annual budget of over $2.3 billion. 67.5% of inmates are rearrested within 3 years after release from state prison. 50% are reincarcerated within 5. Children of incarcerated parents have higher delinquency, dropout, and incarceration rates. There is a well-documented cycle of offending and reoffending. Jacksonville has entrenched poverty. Jacksonville has a high percentage of family breakdown and school failure, all of which put us at greater risk for high crime rates. If you're as concerned about those statistics as I am, and you should be, I'd like to encourage you to consider the power and appropriateness of faith-based programs for male and female ex-offenders.
In the next few minutes, I want you to meet some of the men who are former and current clients here at the ministry. And I want you to enjoy the role that Prisoners of Christ has played in the life-changing experience that each of them has had.
My name is Brian McKittrick. I've been out for about 2.5 years now. Prior to Prisoners of Christ, my life and incarceration in general, I was an atheist. So I didn't have any idea how to live as a Christian on the streets. But Prisoners of Christ provided me a model of Christianity that has been phenomenal. I chose this program because every other program that I was accepted to had that give me the grant money feel. Every one of them said, you've got to work within 2 weeks and give us a paycheck or you're out. Prisoners of Christ said, we are here to love you, to give you that opportunity that you need to have that real second chance.
Well, oftentimes when a prisoner is released from the Florida Department of Corrections, they are sent home with $50 in a blue bag and left to their own devices. In the few instances where there are programs, nonprofit and other programs available to meet with and work with ex-offenders, to give them a hand, we know and research proves that they do better.
My name's Earl Brownfield. My DC number is 118658. And I started out incarceration at 14 years old, tried as an adult. And I did 28 years altogether with 5 different incarcerations. The thing about Prisoners of Christ is they provide a place that's safe with a curriculum that helps you be able to see Jesus. And the leadership here helps you further your walk with Christ once you're released from prison in a setting that's ordained by God. I started doing contracts, and then I had friction at the house with some of the guys, but because I didn't understand that all of us are at different levels of grace and mercy, and I needed to forgive people for the things that was wrong with them and not be in conflict and stressed out and leave, and I wound up leaving the program. And I got outside of God's will when I left the program, and I got back on drugs and everything, but I'll come back to Pastor Steve McCoy, the executive director, and I told him where I was at, and he took me back in. He said that the man that bought the field with the treasure in it had to buy the whole field, and he said, there's a treasure in you, but I gotta buy the field. And he put me back in the house with all these men clean, me telling him I was dope sick every day, but he still was led by God, and it healed me.
We have about 2,500 convicted felons coming back to Jacksonville every year from state prisons throughout the state. Many of those ex-offenders return to the very impoverished and broken neighborhoods they came from and mirror the recidivism numbers that I mentioned in the beginning.
My name is Jeffrey Green. I went to prison in 1982, and I completed a term of 28 years and 7 months. And I have presently been out about 4 years and 7 months. What's great about Prison of Christ is that it gives men like myself an opportunity to start over again. I came to Jacksonville to be a part of Prison of Christ because I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to be in a place that I can develop some type of structure and learning how to reestablish and re-enter society in a positive fashion. And Prison of Christ provided me with all of that. I would like to thank the men and the women in this room today for making it possible for guys like myself to become a member of Prisoner of Christ, because you have no idea how much you have helped us into making our transition back into society. And I could not tell you how grateful I am for this second chance.
The Duval County Jail has an annual budget of about $86 million per year. Reducing local recidivism will directly not only reduce victimization, but save taxpayers millions of dollars.
My name is Leo Denson. I've been incarcerated 7 times. I've been in for burglary, strong arm robbery, grand theft, you name it, I probably did it. I thank God for Prison of Christ ministry. I have been to 7 or 8 different ministries, but I've never been the one with the love, the mercy, and the grace that they have here. Thank God for Pastor Steve for his heart, because he cares, he truly cares for hurting people like us. I have a good job. I have reunited with my family. I got love in my heart. I got the peace and joy that I couldn't get out there with the drugs and the rocks and all of that, you know. And I'm just truly grateful. And I try to be a testimony. Wherever I go now, you know, I try to let somebody know that if God can save me and can set me free, he can do it for anybody.
Well, systematic national research shows that when men are able to get help, when they're provided assistance with employment, with housing, with mental health care, with substance abuse treatment, they do better.
I went to prison for sale of oxycodone, and I've been out for about 16 months now. This program has done for me something that nobody else could do, and that is truly give me in every aspect a new beginning, a new life in Christ and on the streets as a Christian. I want to thank each and every one of you in this room this morning. Before coming here, the Prisoners of Christ, I had a $500 a day drug habit, and I was helpless. I was miserable on the streets, and I helped make a lot of the community that I lived in miserable. And since coming to Prisoners of Christ, all that's changed. And with your contribution this morning, we can make that a reality for not just me, but so many more people.
Prisoners of Christ is a valuable program. In my view, such a valuable program that the city cannot afford to do without it. Every dollar you provide to Prisoners of Christ helps men returning from prison do better, succeed at higher rates, and commit less crime on their fellow citizens of the city. Prisoners of Christ provides housing, provides employment opportunities, provides substance abuse treatment and other kinds of resources that we know are critical to reducing that recidivism rate I mentioned in the beginning. Prisoners of Christ is one of those few faith-based programs that I refer to as a force multiplier. It's a force multiplier because it not only reconnects convicted felons who have been removed from society for many years in many cases with family and social networks, but it also invites ex-offenders to think about the direction of their lives by providing them a sense of hope. So it provides 2 things. It provides, number 1, some resources and some social support with which they can rebuild their lives, but also a sense of acceptance and an orientation toward the future that is empowering to ex-offenders and is crucial for helping them move forward.
Thank you.
And God bless each and every one of you.
And now I'd like to reintroduce you to my friend, Dr. Steve McCoy.
Thank you, Dr. Hallett. So now the choice is up to you. Our question to you is, how much do you want to change those frightening statistics that we saw at the beginning of this video? Together, we can change men's lives. We can make a profound difference in the city of Jacksonville. It's my hope that you will decide to join with us. With your partnership, we can change those statistics. We can lower the crime rates here in Jacksonville, and we can see men's lives undergo miraculous transformation. Prisoners of Christ exist to give every man his very best opportunity at a true second chance. Come and partner with us.